What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out. This is my dumb ass. Like and subscribe. So, I just watched the PlayStation showcase. I had to take some notes on paper and pencil because I couldn't find a pen. Oh man, I tell you what. Remember before when I said that Sony was in trouble because they didn't have no games, right? And okay, so they showed in this presentation 34 games. I wrote every one of them down. We're gonna go through all the games. Here's the problem. Not including VR games. There were, how many VR games there were? There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Five VR games. We're not even gonna count those because VR, please. Who cares about that? No one cares about VR. Anyway, 5 minus 34 is what? 29 games, right? Okay, that's fine. Out of all those games, a handful of them, if that, were first-party Sony games. And the only game worth a damn, IMO, Spider-Man 2 was, of course, the last game. I'm gonna get to Spider-Man 2 later, but let's go through these games. First game, first-party game, was games as a service as well. It was a multiplayer game. Colorful pink clouds of whatever. It was like a look, I can't even go through describing all these games because a lot of them were just like, it looks like it's not a game that it looks like a game that I know that I've probably played before, but that's what a lot of these games were. So the first one was called Fair Games. I put trash on it. I was like, yeah, and it wasn't even a freaking gameplay. It was just a trailer. It was a CG trailer. So I was like, okay, whatever. Second game, Helldivers 2. I guess that's first party. Man, it was like a Starship Troopers ripoff, basically, but I was like, I wasn't feeling it. The third game was an EA game called Immortal of Evium. I don't know what that was. I was like, the fourth one, Ghost Runner 2 sequel. There was a lot of sequels. The fifth one, Phantom Blade Zero. I guess that's a prequel. I don't know. Sixth one was Sword of the Sea. I think that was there's a bunch of kitty cartoony games, not kitty, but artistical cartoon. No, actually there was one kitty game. I was like, oh yeah, oh no, it was literally with a cat in it. Anyway, seventh one was the Thalos, the Talos Principle, yeah, right? That was what it's called, right? The Talos Principle 2, another sequel. I think I played the first one on Xbox One, I think. Yeah, I did. Number 8 was Neva. Looked pretty good. I think that was the one with the giant wolf and the little baby wolf, and then the girl with the white hair. That was pretty dope. It's from the same studio as Chris. I think it was them. Or Gris. I don't remember. Anyway, number 9, Cat Quest. That was the one with the cat. It was goofy as hell. It was bad. We're at number 10. And so far, no good. Anyway, number 10 was called Foam Stars. I can't. It was literally a Splatoon ripoff, except with foam. And the characters weren't squid kids, they were just anime CG people. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this. It was, I can't remember who made that one. I don't think that was first party. Anyway, number 11, The Plucky Squire, which that's a PC game. There was a bunch of these games that were PC games that they put in their showcase, like the next one, Teardown. That's an old game on PC, and they're acting like, oh, brand new, because I guess PlayStation gamers don't know about the PC games, so they can pull a PC game from a couple of years ago and act like it's brand new, and all the ponies be like, nay. Anyway, number 13, Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater. No gameplay, of course. It was the cinematic. I was like, okay, sure. I don't know what the game looks like, but the cinematic was pretty CG. Yay. Number 14, another piece of game, Towers of Akaska or something. I don't. My scribble scrabble. I was a scribble scrabbling. Number 15 was Final Fantasy 16. That game, I heard today, I think it was, listen to a podcast, they were like, oh, they made the people who making Final Fantasy 16 watch Game of Thrones to get inspiration or something. And I was like, okay. And I watched the trailer. I was like, I don't think they watched enough, or I don't think they took enough away from Game of Thrones, because it's literally Final Fantasy, just in different dressing. That's all it is. It's just medieval-ish. I mean, the creatures always look pretty cool, but I was like, I don't care. I really don't care about it. You can't care about these characters because they're all basically the same, just different looking. It's bad. Anyway, they're all tropes. Number 16 was pretty dope. It's a multi-plat, of course. It's Alan Wake 2. I was like, okay, now that looks pretty good. Remedy's doing their thug thizzle, so I'll give them a little bit of yeah. Number 17 was Assassin's Creed Mirage. I was like, okay, sure. It's Assassin's Creed. It looks prettier than whatever. Number 18, another PC game. Revenant Hill. I don't know if I spelled that right. I put whack. I don't remember what that one was. Number 19, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. That one looked pretty good. It was like an anime kind of looking CG. I was like, it's JRPG. It was all right. Number 20 was Street Fighter 6. We don't need to talk about that. We've seen it. I played the demo. It's Street Fighter 6. Number 21 was Ultros. I can't remember what. I put meh and whack. I don't remember what that one was either, and I can't even read my handwriting. Number 22 was Tower of Fantasy. There was a couple of towers here. Tower of Fantasy. Another indescript, generic fantasy. It's too many of them. They all bleed together. You can put them all together and cut them all together and look like the same game. Anyway, next, Dragon's Dogma 2. Okay, sure. Once again, falls into that fantasy. You know what I think is happening? I think because they have zero Western RPGs, because Microsoft literally locked down all the Western RPGs. They're tripling, quadrupling down on all these JRPGs and trying to make them a little bit more fancier and flashier. We'll see. Number 24. I shouldn't even have to say this. Five Nights at Freddy. Something. Help Wanted 2. I was like, oh my jeez. I was like, no. And then we go into VR. There's 5 VR games. Okay, I'm gonna just run through these real quick. Resident Evil 4 VR, whatever. The remake, the new one, right? Okay, sure. Not gameplay. Number 26 was Arizona Sunshine 2, another sequel. The first Arizona Sunshine, like I said I was gonna run through. Anyway, we don't need to talk about them because it's like whatever. But the first Arizona Sunshine was okay. But the graphics were kind of meh because it was VR. Now this one, no gameplay, so probably gonna be the same. Number 27, Crossfire Sierra Squad. Okay, sure. I mean, Crossfire X was so good. I guess that's gonna be. I don't even actually know if that's the same IP, but I think it might be. 28, Synapse. Nope. And 29 was Beat Saber. Wow, I was like, wow, that's what VR is talking about. Oh, that thing is gonna fail so hard. Wow, they should have had a separate VR thing and had more games, like 10 games or something, because that is a pitiful offering. Back to regular games. Now, number 30 was a Bungie game, and I was looking at it once again, not gameplay, all CG, and it was Marathon. And I was looking at it, I was like, okay. No gameplay. I have no way of telling how the game is. It'll probably be pretty good because Bungie makes good games, but whatever. It's a remake of Marathon. Number 31 was, again, no gameplay. It was a cinematic trailer. It was Destiny: The Final Shape. I think that's what it was called. And your boy Nathan Fillion's character came back from the dead or something. He's there now. It's like, oh, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, story. Okay, yeah. Who cares? Number 32, not gameplay again. Concord. I don't even remember what that game was. I was like, And then, before Spider-Man, they played the Gran Turismo movie trailer. Come on, son. This is supposed to be a PlayStation. Not movies, PlayStation. And it was basically the same like trailers that we've been seeing. Like maybe they added a couple of shots. I don't know. Whatever. Maybe it'd be a good movie. I don't know. I don't. Whatever. So Spider-Man 2. It looked good. I'm not gonna say it looked whack because it didn't look whack. It looked good, but once again, or here's what's happening. Sony has a formula for their games that they think are going to be, you know, this is how you make a Sony AAA blockbuster game, right? And so Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man and Miles Morales, they had some of these things, but what they showed today was more of, it felt like Uncharted snuck in the middle of the night and added some of their sprinkles into the Spider-Man 2 recipe, and boop. And now you got Miles Morales water skiing from a drone trying to avoid Doc Connors. I was like, okay, all right. It was a good showing. The best thing about Spider-Man 2, which is something they didn't really reveal before, is that they're going to be telling the story of the web. Is the Web of Shadows? Oh man, I forgot what it's called now. I think it's called Web of Shadows. It's when Kraven the Hunter basically comes in and starts hunting Spider-Man in New York. And that was one of the coolest kind of Spider-Man arcs in the comics, because it wasn't the same old, Spider-Man, this goofy little kid and stuff and blue, blue, blue. This one was, Spider-Man got the black suit, right? He had the black suit for a while, but he got the black suit because he got the black suit in 300. I think I got it before 300. Issue 300. That was McFarlane did that issue. I have it somewhere. And and so what, I don't know if anybody knows. Well, comic nerds know. I know because I have the comics, but like regular people who watch the movies don't know. The symbiote, and here's one of the problems with the Venom movies, is that it's twisting and making Venom more of a good guy than he actually is, technically. And so the symbiote Spider-Man was the host before Venom, before Eddie Brock. And so I guess it makes sense in that. But this Spider-Man video game is different from the cinematic universe Spider-Man, so whatever. Everything I'm saying doesn't make any sense and it doesn't matter anyway. But anyway, the symbiote makes Spider-Man super aggressive, almost like a bad guy. And so they showed one part, and people, I don't know who caught it, but he was he was trying to save somebody from debris or whatever exploding. So he grabbed them with the symbiote webs and stuff, right? And he grabbed him and he had him and he just threw him to the side, he didn't put him down gently like how Spider-Man would usually. He just threw him. And he was like, boosh, landed on his face and stuff. And then Miles was there. He was like, what are you doing? It's pretty funny. But they didn't really mention it inside of the actual cinematic or the gameplay. He didn't really, Miles didn't say anything about it, but it was there visually, and I caught it. I caught on to it, so I was like, okay, that's pretty good. So Insomniac, they're good. I give them props. I'm not gonna say they're whack or anything. They have made whack games before, but maybe one whack game, 1.5 whack games. But they got a good track record, so I ain't gonna hate on them. But that's the best part of this Spider-Man 2, is that it is Raven the Hunter, and it is the symbiote suit, the black suit, and the whole thing about that is Peter Parker is struggling with the suit because the suit is giving him all the super extra powers and stuff on top of what he can already do. He doesn't need to have his web shooters because the symbiote does all the stuff, he's shooting symbiote webs and stuff, right? And so I like the story in the comic, and I want to see what they do with it in the game. But the cool thing about it is it's like two parts. It's like Spider-Man's he's being hunted by Kraven, so he's got that to contend with. And he's also fighting against the symbiote, against his natural kind of inclinations and his natural way that he is, like a nice, good guy. And he becomes kind of not a really bad guy, but a not nice guy. He becomes an ace. I don't know if he's an ice hole, but, it's pretty interesting how, it all ends up in the end and stuff. So, but yeah, that was a bunch of flashing lights and colors, not a lot of substance. I'm just saying. It's just, I was like, and then I was watching like 2 seconds of Fratanga, and he was like, yeah, I think Microsoft could easily do better than this. Because the problem is, and I hear a lot of ponies and Dr. Unicorn say this, it's about quality, not quantity. Well, in this showcase, they showed a lot of quantity and not a lot of quality. Maybe they should heed the words of their constituencies or something like that. Anyway, I appreciate y'all hanging out. Trying to like and subscribe. Hit me up in the comments below. What do you think about the showcase? Do you agree with me that Spider-Man was really the showcase? It was really the best thing, and everything else was like, okay, you know? It felt fantastic. I mean, like I said, it looked good. It looked flashy. It looked video gamey, but when you drill down to it, when you look at the core and the essence of each game and their gameplay, you're like, meh. Good editing. Get all the good parts of the game. Yeah, I don't, like I said, Sony's kind of in trouble because, what did I say? How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 3.5, 4. Like I said, a handful. I'm gonna give them 5, maybe 5 first-party titles in this, if that. Not including VR, because who cares? Anyway, let me know in the comments. Hit me up. Write the novels that you will. It's all good. I'm gonna read all of them. I appreciate y'all, and I'll see you on the next one.